Another 50 Christians have been gruesomely murdered in the ongoing genocide in Nigeria. Frank Uto, a Nigerian lawyer and native of Yelawata, joins us now. Frank, these 50 that have been killed recently, you were talking with me before we got started about the manner in which they were killed. It wasn't, a bomb or something. This was a gruesome event. Can you tell me how these 50 people died?
The way they kill our people is in the most horrific, the most gruesome, the most cruel manner anyone could ever think. It will make even the devil to shiver. Because what they do is that when they come around, you run into your hut, into your house. And then what they do is that they will now cycle the house with fuel. They will lit fire on the house. And then when you are coming out, they will now hack you down with machete. So they're cutting you as if they are cutting a piece of wood, not as if they are killing a wild animal. You don't even kill a wild animal that way. So they'll bust your brains with machete and you see spillage of brains. I believe you've seen some of these very horrific pictures. They are so graphic. I have hundreds of them in my phone right now. These are my siblings. These are my cousins. These are people I know so well. I know almost 80% of these people. As a matter of fact, some of them, I spoke to some of them a week before that thing happened. And anytime we speak, we talk with dread. We know that we are living on time bomb. We know that these things will come again. So every time I try to give them an advice, to keep their eyes open. But that was what happened. Look, there are two of my aunties who were pregnant. One was pregnant with a twin, with twins. They split open the stomach, they removed the twins, and then slaughter the twin. So that's what's been happening. And when they are doing this, they begin to recite Allah Akbar, which unfortunately has become an internationally recognized slogan and motto for terrorists. It may have good intention. The words in Arabic says Allah is great or something like that. But unfortunately, it has become the most universally accepted slogan and motto for jihadists. So they'll be slaughtering these people and be chanting Allah Akbar. That's what we've been facing. And unfortunately, the government of our country, the government of our state is doing extremely nothing about this because they will just want to be politically correct. Because the kinsmen of these people are the same people who constitute the top echelon of the Nigerian political structure, business structure, and institutional structure. So you find a lot of our people who are so reluctant to do something about this because they want to be politically correct. They want to have at every time political benefits and personal aggrandizement. So that's what we've been facing. So like I said earlier, we lived with this. We've been living with it before now. Do you know that before the incident, I'm sorry, maybe I may be digressing, but before the incident of June 13 and 14, before that massacre, 2 weeks earlier, a retired army officer in my own village of Yerwata, who was my late father's very close friend, was in his compound just going through his phone that night. And because of the beam, the light of the phone, was shining on his face, these jihadis came to his compound, shot him on the leg. So he ran into his room. So, we're very poor people. Our houses are made from mud. We don't have houses made of strong bricks. So even when you kick the wall, it will break. So many of our houses, we don't even have window frames. So like in his own window frame, what was there was just a mosquito net. So when he fell into his room, they now went through the mosquito net, cut the mosquito net, went into the room, butchered him, butchered his son who was sleeping earlier, and butchered his wife. And then they took some stuff from the house. And do you know the next day in Uday, a neighboring community to us, that's our ward headquarters, Uday, which was like 5 kilometers away from Yerwata, a village woman was going to the farm to fetch firewood, and she saw one of these jihadis, the Fulani, with blood stains on his clothes. So she went back and raised alarm to the village youth that she saw this Fulani guy trying to kickstart a motorbike that stopped. So he was trying to kickstart it, and when she walked past, she saw blood stains all over his body and even on the bike. So that is a ground for suspicion, of course. So immediately our youth ran to the place, met this guy, give him some little beatings, and they were able to extract confession from him. He confessed that they carried out an attack in Yerwata, that's my own village, which was like 4 kilometers away from the village he was caught. They carried out an attack on Yerwata the previous night. They killed that retired army officer, and this bike was given to him by one of the military guys in Uday. Yeah, a detachment of military. So one of them is his kinsman, is a fellow Fulani, is a Muslim officer. So the youth took the bike with him and went to where the military guys are stationed and accosted that particular military officer. His name is Suleiman, and said, "Look, this is what you've been accused of." So the Suleiman gave a very preposterous kind of excuse by saying he gave out the bike to this guy yesterday because the guy came here and said one of his brothers was bitten by a snake. And so he gave him the bike to take the brother to the hospital. Now you don't know that guy, but you release your bike to him. Who is that his brother who was bitten by the snake? No one could see that person. Which hospital did he take him to? None. So we reported this to the military top echelon in my state capital in Mokodi, which was also headed by another Fulani. That's how these guys are strategic. By another Fulani officer. And that was how the story died a natural death. So far, nothing has been done about it. And so far, we've even forgotten about it.
Wow. Well, Frank, unfortunately, we're going to have you back on because these stories just keep happening. I'm getting really frustrated. I can't imagine how your frustration, just that this happens day after day, week after week, month after month. We just did a story about this a few days ago with Masara about a different incident. This just keeps happening. But there is something. Lastly, again, we're going to have you back on. But lastly, there is an event happening in DC, which is, again, at least a small step in the right direction. Can you tell us what's happening in DC in closing?
Okay, so the groups are the truthnigeria.org and Equipping the Persecuted, organizing a seminar, a meeting on exactly what is happening in Nigeria, with emphasis on what is happening in my place, because this is the place that is trending in the last 1 month. My own village of Yerwata. They went there, they carried out their investigation, they made a documentary. They'll be showing the documentary, and some keynote speakers, of whom I'm one, will be talking about the persecution of Christians in my domain. That's exactly what I'm going to Washington for. The event will be taking place at the National Press Club.
And is there a website or someplace people can look to find out more information about it?
I think it's their website, truthnigeria.org, and equippingthepersecuted.org too, I think, yeah.
Well, Frank, again, I thank you so much for your time. Everyone on that's watching this video, I know I speak for my friend here. We're heartbroken, we're devastated, we're frustrated. But telling the story is the first step. So for now, my friend, God bless you.
Thank you very much.
And God bless your friends and family in Nigeria, my friend.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much, Raj. God bless you.